evening, everyone. My name is Tashika, and I will be talking about the functional autonomy theory of motive, George Allport theory. George Allport theory of motivation was developed in 1955. Allport's concept of functional autonomy poses that the motive of mature emotional health adults are not functionally connected to the prior experience in which they initially appear. Allport's concept of functional autonomy of motive also indicates that these motives are flexible and therefore subject to change. These behaviors can be controlled by different motives in different persons. For example, look at domestic violence in Jamaica. Oftentimes, the motives for these killings are jealousy. He says, each motive have a definite point of origin, which may be possible, be instinct, or more likely in the organic tension of infancy. Allport believes a person or people, his or her, motivated by the past event and are aware of what they are doing and have an understanding of why they are doing it.
One theory is Sigmund Freud's psychosexual motive. The motive behind behavior, according to Sigmund Freud, is deep-rooted in sexuality and aggression. He taught that the subconscious of a person is behind the behavior of that individual, and it is usually driven by a sexual and aggressive nature. He stated that these behaviors and patterns are developed early in childhood years, and these impulses are directly linked to experiences in infancy. Example, if a baby sucking was limited, this may lead to more oral activity later in life, such as smoking. Freud's theory claims that every action is because of some hidden motive deep under the subconscious, unaware to the individual. Definition of motivation. Motivation is defined as a reason or reasons for behaving or acting a particular way, desire or willingness to do something. Motivation in psychology can be defined as an internal process that makes a person move towards a certain goal. Looking at youths at risk in the Caribbean, it can be said there is a link between Freud's theory and the behavior of what we refer to as youths at risk. There are many cases of young mothers unprepared, scared, or even unwilling to take on the role of a parent. Oftentimes, these young women are left alone with the responsibility of both parents. The child may feel as though he or she is not receiving the necessary attention, love, and guidance that they need. There may not be the nurturing needed from a parent or parents for the proper development and growth of the child. Children who seek attention usually act out and continue to do so, more so when reaching adolescence. One form of acting out is aggression. This can be seen in communities under siege by youths of the particular area, recorded with high delinquent rate in Trinidad with no authoritative figure respected. These youths, according to Freud's theory, are motivated to act in a particular way, unaware what is the root cause of the behavior. Another example is a survey that was conducted by the National Alcohol and Drug Prevention Program in Trinidad. In this study, it looked at smoking marijuana in schools. It was revealed that children as young as 8 years old experimented with smoking and drinking. According to Freud's psychosexual theory, when an infant lacks sucking during the years of infancy, there will be a high need for discerning later on in life, such as smoking or drinking. One can say they see a connection between the subconscious motives as the guiding force behind decisions made and the behaviors executed. These young persons may not themselves understand why they act the way they do, and this is where mental health professionals can come into the picture and play a significant role in reducing abnormal and deviant behavior in youths.
My name is Oralyn Reid, and I will be sharing with you on the Self-Determination Theory by Deci and Ryan, 1985. According to your self-dictionary, self-determination is defined as a personal decision to do something or think a certain way. People who are self-determined know what they want and how to get it. They choose and set goals, then work to reach them. They advocate on their own behalf and are involved in solving problems and making decisions about their lives. The three basic psychological needs of a human are competence, readiness, and autonomy. There is a strong driving force that propels the motivation that we see in Caribbean women to lead. There are two types of motivation in self-determination, which are intrinsic and extrinsic. A further example of intrinsic motivation is my daughter's enjoyment in launching her boutique in Anguilla in 2017. This has been her passion from the tender age of 8. Seeing it come to fruition gave her a sense of pride as she's carrying her own line of bathing suits. On the other hand, extrinsic motivation is a need to be successful in her venture as a young woman in the Caribbean and a vision to open other stores throughout the Caribbean. Another example of motivational self-determination is the fact that throughout the Caribbean, there are many women coming to the forefront in the political arena. The women's interest in the political field felt the radical feminist shock when the woman's revolutionary socialist motivation of the PNC was established in Guyana and the women's auxiliary of the PNP in Jamaica.
Good day everyone, my name is Cindy and I will be presenting my topic on self-determination theory. According to Edward, Deci, and Richard M., self-determination theory is a theory of motivation. It deals with supporting our natural and intrinsic tendencies to behave in effective and healthy ways. Motivation is one willingness to do something. Research investigating parenting strategies and child outcome in British Caribbean population. The study examined the relation of parental control, autonomy, support, and structure in child motivation in Barbados. Parental control was negatively related to engagement, perceived competence, perceived control, and identified self-regulation, and positively related to depression. Autonomy, support items stopping parents' acknowledgement of the child and allowance of opinion exchange were related more strongly to positive outcomes. Allowance of choice and independent decision making reacted to negative outcomes. Here is just a study. The purpose of this descriptive correlation study was to assess diabetic attitude among adults living and working on the Caribbean islands of Trinidad and Tobago. A conceived sample of 66 adult men and women of Afro-Trinidadian descent and Indo-Trinidadian descent and of mixed ethnicity completed the 33 items diabetic attitude scale with its 5 subscales. They were: number 1, need for special training in education; number 2, seriousness of type 2 diabetes; number 3, values of tight glucose control; number 4, psychosocial impact of diabetes; and lastly, number 5, autonomy and patient attitudes. Self-determination theory guided the conceptual development of the study. Data analysis received a strong effective between needs for special training and autonomy and patient attitudes. Strong correlations were also found between seriousness of the disease, value of tight glucose control, and psychosocial impact. Moderate correlation were found between the other variables of subscales. Practical implementations were discussed. Findings suggest the need for more appropriate education and support intervention of the autonomous nature. In conclusion, self-determination theory also focuses on how social and cultural factors facilitate or undermine people's sense of violation and initiative in addition to their well-being and the quality of their performances. Thank you.
Thank you for watching our video.